Some of you know that one of my first jobs working for Bernina was actually to sit and play with the machines. Make it do things that it was not intended to do. And that's when I fell in love with decorative stitches, which has led to the Bernina Stitching Cosmos online course, where I just love playing with decorative stitches and putting them to new limits that sometimes even the machine didn't know it was capable of. Well, one day I came up with a stitch that I'm going to show you on the Bernina 790 that truly is a stitch that was not for its intended use. So first up, it is stitch number 18. 18 is a, how do we even describe it? A stretch stitch, a super stretch stitch for stretchy fabrics. Okay, so it's really little. But one day I was playing around and I actually added stitch width to it. When I added stitch width and then shortened the stitch length, here we go, I discovered I had a whole new stitch. So this is a stitch that I have coined as my own personal Sara's favorite applique stitch. And the reason I love it is because the satin stitch part, kind of the solid part in the middle, can cover up a raw edge, like a satin stitch. But every so often, then it stops and does a little wider version of that and kind of gives the project a little attitude. So you can find how wide you want it, and you can see how wide you will be covering up the raw edge, which is the goal. I can't remember what my favorite setting is. And again, stitch length will all be determined based on how thick of thread you're actually using. By using the open toe foot, I have foot 20C selected for this machine. That also is an option, and you could even move the needle position to the far left and put the edge of that stitch right up against the inside of that toe. So if you're looking for some way to kind of follow along with something, that could be an option. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the center, and I'll show you how easy this actually is to sew. You'll find the tension has actually already been reduced, so it will pull these stitches nicely to the back side. And again, this is just fun. People always ask me, where is that stitch in my machine? I'm like, oh, you'll never guess. It's in the utility section of the machine. So when you're tired of just satin stitches or blanket stitches, you'll find that just about any stitch can be used for a raw edge applique. This one just turns out to be so suited for usually what I'm looking for. Now I can tell I've started way far in than what I need, but that's okay. I'll just kind of work my way out towards the edge here. But watch as I cover up this raw edge and then let that little extra wider version come out and create that little pop along the edge. So I'm just kind of running that right along. I'm really kind of guiding, let me show you, the stitch that's right there. That's the stitch, that's the width that's covering up the raw edge. So that's more what I'm watching, if anything, that when it swings to that inside needle position, that I'm right where I need to be. Now here's the trick, a corner. So where do I need to be? I truly need to actually be on the inside, but I'm kind of already past where I need to be. No fear, I can actually turn and reset this up for creating a re-stitching version. There we go. And it'll cover up right where I want. Now I am looking here. I can kind of still see a little of my fabric in between there. So this would be a time where you could take and shorten the stitch length oh so slightly just to get a little bit more denser stitch. That's what I like. Again, it depends on how you like it. Of course, a denser stitch will take longer to sew, but I like the finished result. So let's just go ahead and stitch this out. We'll take a look at the final result. So you tell me, which one has the most pop of interest? The blanket stitch, the satin stitch, or the one we just created as a brand new stitch? Now you know why I absolutely love manipulating decorative stitches. And I hope you'll take a look at our Bernina Stitching Cosmos online course, because on the Bernina we do over 8 hours of stitch manipulation, 25 different techniques, and over 18 different presser feet. And if you think your machine is impressive now, wait till you try out everything I have to show you.